Hey, welcome to this Windows channel, and this is the first news bulletin update for 2017. Happy New Year, everybody. This is the tech news for Monday, January 2nd, 2017. Well, most of the people are probably still on vacation today. What is new in the tech news? Well, we have note that the Note 7 fiasco findings, the investigation that Samsung has actually started. Well, we should have all the details by the end of the month of January. Samsung announced that they will reveal the findings of the investigation of why the Note 7 has such problems, and it will come later this month. That's going to be interesting to see exactly how much detail they give us, but also what exactly happened to that phone. Well, talking about Samsung, the Samsung Galaxy A3, A5, and A7 are going to be launched this month, and these are the newest handsets that Samsung will be releasing for 2017. And they are water resistant. They have a fingerprint scanner and 3D glass, so kind of a 3D functionality, a little bit like the iPhone, apparently. So it's going to be interesting to see when and what this will all be about. Windows 10 is now being used by more than half of the Steam users. So it seems that Steam gamers are probably a little more advanced than the average population. 50.35% of all Steam users are now on Windows 10, and of course, being a gamer sometimes means you're a little more PC oriented and computer oriented than others. Also, we got to think that a lot of users also move to Windows 10 because they want to have the latest, DirectX capabilities and so on. So interesting to see that 50.35% of all users on Steam are now on Windows 10. Google was asked to remove 1.1 billion piracy related websites. When we talk about that, it means illegal websites for content, for cracks, for illegal streaming of movies and TV shows. And they say that in 2016, 1.1 billion takedown requests were actually sent to Google. And that's not an increase this year. It's actually a little less than what they did in 2015. So that is interesting. Is piracy a little less dominant, or is it just that, it's just so dominant that a lot of the companies are kind of saying, well, okay, the hell with it. Well, that's interesting. 1.1 billion takedowns for 2016. Well, in the browser war, well, if we look at the browser usage for December of 2016, if we look at Microsoft Edge, for the first time, Microsoft Edge has its own numbers, 5.2%, and that, even though is a small number for a browser, actually is a 190% increase year over year, meaning that, yeah, it's not, really taking much, but it is still better than last year. So that's going to be interesting to see. Will that continue? Will that trend continue? That's going to be an interesting one. And Internet Explorer, it's now down to 20.84%. Really, really getting low now. And this is a decline of 55% year over year. So Internet Explorer is now 50% decline from last December of 2015 at 20.8% usage. Chrome dominating at 56.43%, slightly up. In Firefox at 12.22%, followed by Opera with a very small 1.33% usage. Windows 10 now on 24.36% of all devices or all computers. It now is very close to the 1/4 of all machines around the world running Windows 10. And that's up from 23.7%, meaning that it did grow by more than 0.5% from November to December. So we see that Windows 10 is getting better. it's going to be even more interesting to see January numbers, because if a lot of PCs were sold and a lot of devices were sold, we might see a little jump for the January 7, 2017 numbers because of that. Windows 7 is at 48.34%. What is extremely interesting on this number, 48.34, is that Windows 7 actually grew 1.1% from the month of November. So that's interesting. It's kind of a stop decline because it was declining every month. And now there's a 1.1% up in Windows 7. That's kind of interesting. And Windows XP at 9%, also a little bit up. That's kind of weird to understand why this is happening. And finally, well, it seems that the iPhone 7 isn't selling as much as Apple thought. It seems that Apple will be cutting its production of iPhone 7s by 10% over much weaker sales than they had anticipated. Well, that actually shows us that, you know what, Apple is losing slowly the market share everywhere, and I think that means they need to do something major to really get back into the market correctly. Now, don't get me wrong, iPhone 7s are still, you know, getting some really healthy and really good sales, and they're making a lot of cash for Apple. But it does show that overall, people from the iPhone 5 to 6 to 7 are kind of just saying, well, ain't much difference. So a lot of people are just saying, well, I don't know why I should change my iPhone 6 to an iPhone 7, for example. So 10% decrease in the production of iPhone 7s. That's an interesting little number, and we'll see, throughout 2017 what's going to happen with that. So this was the Tech News Update for Monday, January 2nd, 2017. And if you enjoy our videos, please subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. And hopefully you will follow us throughout 2017. Happy New Year, everyone.